Alright, I got the fire barrel going. And I have got about 1, 2, 3. I got 4 sheets of metal up here so far. Just trying to see how square everything is, because you can figure all day long and think you're square, but when you go putting that metal on there, it will tell the truth. But right now we're looking pretty good across there, across that front. It's even so far. You can look at the lines in the metal. It'll tell on you. But you can look at the rafters versus the lines in the metal, and I'm pretty close. So there's a red drip edge I'm putting on the front. It was left over from my house. I might set the camera up here in a little bit and catch a little real-time action. I just didn't want to sit here and film me screwing and unscrewing and moving pieces around to make sure I was square. I mean, I've been out here for probably an hour now, just trying to make sure that I'm square. I'll come back and cut those. I'll lift that metal up and cut those off, but it's one of those things you just don't get up here and just start throwing screws in, because then you're going to have to go back and take it all off. So you best take your time to start with and make sure you get it as close as you can. And the sun has gone down behind the trees. It'll be dark here in a few. I didn't quite get done. I'm going to keep putting sheets up. I might try to get 2 or 3 more on before the night takes over. Like I said, this is a commercial panel. I can't remember what they call this, but it's a thicker gauge than your normal metal roof. Everything seems to be pretty square. And that's surprising. Doing this by myself, I figured I'd have it way off. Got the fire barrel going. Oh yeah. But I'll prop y'all back up and I'll keep going. Alright, the metal is complete. Well, almost. I haven't lifted that up and cut those boards off to length yet, but I seem to have misplaced my little handsaw. And these short days, they just, oh, fire department, there they go. Get them, boys. There used to be one. I retired a few years ago, but anyway, yeah, we got white, brown, green, black, and gray metal, but it was leftovers and cover sheets I got from a buddy of mine. Got a real good deal in it. I mean, a super good deal. But it's 15 foot long, 32 foot wide. And man, I wish I could find my handsaw right quick. With a little bit of daylight I got left, I could flip that tin up and cut those off and put the last few screws in and call it done. I might go run and try to find it right quick before it gets pitch black. Alright, I'll meet you down below. These are 5 of the fan style 80 watt 8,000 lumen bulbs. Did was I got one of those drop cords that has the light sockets made into it, and it's just up there temporary. These up here, see how they look? But this ain't bad. I mean, it is lit up pretty good in here. Man, that's 5 of them. You can see how to mill whatever. Awesome. Let me step back away from the shed again over here. And you can see it's pitch black out here. I'm standing back probably 30 yards. from the shed. I mean, that's pretty good light right there. That's one reason I don't want to close those ends up, because it'll let that light radiate out at night. If I close those ends up, it's going to cast a shadow out to the sides. I kind of don't want that. I'm going to point the camera away from the sawmill shed for this part, because at the time of filming this right here, the bandsaw mill shed is almost complete. What I want y'all to understand is a lot of the things you've already seen on my channel were filmed back in 2022. When I had the idea, which I've had for years, of starting a YouTube channel, first thing I knew I needed to do was get enough content filmed to where I could easily make 4 or 5 videos to start out with. That way I didn't want to post a video and then have people waiting a whole month for me to come up with something else. Having said that, I'm going to tag this on the end of the video, the number 2 for the sawmill shed, which should be metal roofing and lights. The follow-up video to this, part 3, I'm going to be laying block for support pillars underneath the shed and beams across said block for my band mill to rest upon. And you know, this is obviously a permanent fixture for the time being, but I just wanted a base that was sturdy, under roof, in the dry, with lights, some available power. And you know, what you're seeing is not going to be the final product. Of course, it's going to grow as time goes on. I'm going to build off of both ends of my sawmill shed. Either way, I'm going to build a room on one end for blade storage, and eventually a sharpener for the blades. I'm going to keep building the other way for firewood storage, because this is right beside the wood yard. If you watch my video on firewood processing, right where this band mill is setting, this was an empty space when I showed you this wood yard on that video. So it was a fitting place to put the band mill as well, over here out of the way, not right in my yard, but within view from my home. So without overly rambling here, because I don't like to ramble too much, and I want you all to realize that, you know, it's okay to go in the comments section and let me know what you think about things. I mean, don't pat me on the back and tell me good job if you think there's something I need to hear. I mean, I try not to talk too much unless it's something that really needs explaining. I don't want to be like these certain channels. I mean, some channels do good that don't have any talking. But I don't want to be one of these people that don't connect with you all either. But anyway, I will end with that. But the follow-up video will be me laying block and wooden beams across that block, and probably moving the bandsaw mill. I'll probably squeeze all of that into the next video. And you know, excuse this video, I'm sorry, you know. So it's not like I can go back and fix anything of the old footage that I did other than editing. I can't go back and get better angles, or, you know, I realize putting a metal roof on is kind of boring. I mean, I didn't want to show too much of me just sitting there putting screws in over and over and over and over. But I promise, if you stick with me, I will get better. We'll have better content. I'll do better angles, better footage. You just got to let me know in the comments what you want to see more of, what you don't want to see more of. I mean, if you're watching my channel, you're obviously into the kind of things I'm doing, or you're just curious, which is fine too. But if you would, just let me know what you think, and we'll see you on the next one.